Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthitah bhishmam eva abhirakshantu bhavantah sarva evahi. Hello friends. Friends, this is the 11th shlok of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and in today's video we are going to be discussing this shlok in detail. So let's first understand the meaning of this shlok. So the shlok goes as Ayaneshu cha sarveshu, which means all of you should now move towards. Then it goes as Yatha Bhagam Avastitaha, which means to whatever place that you have been assigned, you should go there and stand. Bhishmam eva abhirakshantu, which means you should all protect Bhishma. Bhavanta eva sarvahi, which means that you should all become ready to do that. So the shlok overall means that all of you should move to the places that you have all been assigned and stand there, and all of you should work towards protecting Bhishma. So this is the statement which has been given by Duryodhan to all of the heroes of his army. And so what he is saying over here is that you should all go take your places and you should all work towards protecting Bhishma. So if you look at this statement, this is a very weird statement as such which is coming from Duryodhan. I think he is making this statement because he has a lot of hopes from Bhishma Pitamaha. He thinks that Bhishma is the most powerful fighter in his army, and so he has a lot of expectations from Bhishma that Bhishma will help him in winning this war. And so he is a little bit scared, and so that's why he is probably asking all the fighters to protect Bhishma over there, that they should all protect him so that he can win the war. But this is a very weird statement. It just shows how confused Duryodhan actually is, because we all know that Bhishma is a very powerful general. He is the main general of the army, he is the leader of the army, and he is very powerful, and he has the boon that nobody can kill him. He has the boon that he can die at his own wish. And so here is this very powerful fighter who has the boon that he cannot die until he wishes to die, and Duryodhan over here is asking everybody to protect him. So this is a very weird statement that Duryodhan is making. Bhishma is so powerful that he does not need anybody's protection. He can protect himself pretty well, while Duryodhan is asking all the fighters to protect him. So this must be confusing all the heroes of Kaurav army, that why is Duryodhan really asking this thing from them. So it creates a lot of confusion, and you should also keep in mind that Bhishma actually is the one who is the leader of the Kaurav army. He is the one who is leading the army, and so the army should be listening to him rather than Duryodhan. So by including his own statements in over here, by giving instructions to the warriors over here, Duryodhan itself is basically confusing all of them in the Kaurav army. So this really shows how confused Duryodhan is, and he's also pretty deluded, because he thinks that he is giving instructions in terms of protecting Bhishma, while if you look at Bhishma and his state of mind, it's completely different. I mean, Bhishma as such, if you look at Mahabharata, if you move ahead in Mahabharata and you look at the war, you know that Bhishma actually tells the method by which Pandavas can kill him. So the mindset that Bhishma has towards his life is completely opposite to the mindset that Duryodhan has towards his life, towards Bhishma's life. So this again is sort of, how Duryodhan is projecting his thought on the thought of Bhishma, you can see over here. So Bhishma as such has a completely different state of mind, while Duryodhan has a very different state of mind. That is also something which is evident from this shlok over here, which shows that Duryodhan is very, very confused and very, very deluded. And this is something that we see in our world also. I mean, although this Gita is called to be a spiritual text, but it's a very practical text, and you can look at its impact. I mean, you can look at the things being mentioned over here happening in the real world also. So in the recent times, there was a book published by Barack Obama where Barack Obama said that when he interacted with Rahul Gandhi, he could see that Rahul Gandhi does not have the aptitude to be a great politician. And you can see the same thing happening over here with Duryodhan also. although Duryodhan is leading the, although Duryodhan wants to become the king of Kuru kingdom, he lacks the aptitude, and he lacks the aptitude to become a great king. It is quite evident from the kind of commands that he is giving over here. And similarly, you can see that although Rahul Gandhi is trying to lead Congress right now, he is not a very good leader, and he has, the kind of actions that he has taken has completely confused the Congress party, wherein you can see that in the Kashmir, when there was the Gupkar declaration that was going on, the Congress party workers were completely confused. They didn't really know if they were part of the Gupkar declaration or they were not part of the Gupkar declaration. Some of the party members actually took part in that, but then later on the statement that came from Congress party was that we are not part of Gupkar declaration. So you can see that when there is not a very good leader, it can really confuse everybody that's present in your team. And although you might have pretty good people in your team, if the leader is bad, then it will confuse everybody in the team also, and that's the kind of thing that is happening over here also. So in Gita, this slok actually shows you that sort of a situation where when there is a bad leader, he can confuse everybody. So that is the message that comes from this slok. So I hope I have explained this slok well to you and you have understood the meaning behind this slok. With that, I'll close this video. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, take care.